1, Trevor Hughes. And our captain, number 13, Murphy Bonatowski. Head coach of Saigon Heat is Mr. Kyle Julius. Assistant coach is Mr. David Singleton. Và kính thưa quý vị, xin giới thiệu giám sát viên và nội trọng tài của trận đấu ngày hôm nay. Commissioner referees for this game are Mr. Lê Việt Đức, Mr. Suntario Arianto, Mr. Sung Minh Lu, Mr. Mumi Prida. Và xin mời tất cả mọi người chúng ta hãy cùng đứng lên để làm lễ chào cờ. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem. Và xin mời quý vị hãy cùng nhanh chóng ổn định để cùng làm lễ chào cờ. Quốc ca.
Quân Việt Nam đi chung lòng yêu vua, bước chân dồn than trên đường hầm đánh xa. Cờ in bao chiến thắng lòng hồn nước, sông ngoài xa trên khung gần hành ca. Đường vinh quang xây xa quân thù, hàng giặc Lào cùng nhau lập chiến khu. Vì nhân dân chiến đấu không ngừng, tiếng màu ra xa trường, tiến lên, cùng tiến lên, nước Nam Việt Nam vững bền.
Vâng, xin cảm ơn quý vị và xin mời hai đội chúng ta.
Game versus Hong Kong Eastern, Quadtron with 12 points, and Chris Durker continuing to play well in his rookie ABL season with 10 points and 8 rebounds in the last game versus Hong Kong Eastern. These two guys will be critical to the success of the Saigon Heat in today's game versus the Malaysia Dragons. And when we look at the Malaysia Dragons on the other side, they've been getting contributions from everybody. They started out slow. We saw the first game of the year, the lopsided game. Since then, they're 5-2, and they've been a very tough opponent, including victories against Alap Filipinas, San Miguel Alap Filipinas, and Saigon Heat. So they've beaten the top two teams in the league. As we look at their starting lineup, their three imports, along with Jonathan Wong, and of course, Chin Chang Hua. And as we look at Saigon Heat's lineup here coming up, we look at having a jump ball here in the middle, a ceremonial jump ball. And they're doing a nice thing here in Saigon to benefit Saigon charities. They are, it's a day where they've asked the fans to bring teddy bears for the kids here in Saigon. A very nice gesture by the Saigon Heat organization and by the fans to help out. And as we look at the Saigon Heat starting lineup, Kyle Julius going with the same lineup he has the last couple games. The three world imports along with Quadtron and Chris Durker. And again, Saigon Heat all year long been getting contributions, not just from their steady world imports, but from their local players. Sang Din, Quadtron, Chris Durker. Justin Young also in uniform today. We'll see if he gets minutes as he's coming back from his ankle injury. But on the other end, we look at the Malaysia Dragons. Came in, low expectations this season, and have really surprised the league with a 5-3 start, playing outstanding team ball. Jamie Perlman has gotten his guys to buy into his system, play a mixture of defenses, and get contributions, different contributions. Allow Winston Shepard to play on the outside, to take an inside-outside approach. A different guy doing it every day for the Malaysia Dragons, and it's been quite impressive to see. And today could be a little bit of a revenge game. The last game in Saigon Heat versus the Malaysia Dragons was a thrilling ending that led to a tip-in lob victory at the buzzer. Winston Shepard getting the pass from Nana Egwu at the buzzer to give the Malaysia Dragons the 2-point victory in their last matchup. As we look at the head coaches, Jamie Perlman for the Malaysia Dragons, and on the other side we have Kyle Julius for the Saigon Heat. A couple of excellent coaches, tacticians, guys who, former players who think differently on how to approach the game, and it should be quite a chess matchup between these two fine coaches here in today's matchup. Again, we have a full slate of games on a Sunday here at ABL 9, but this is the first game here on Sunday, and it'll be Saigon Heat and the Malaysia Dragons coming up here shortly. As the Saigon Heat wearing their home reds against the the teal and black road uniforms of the Malaysia Dragons. And the Dragons win the jump ball, and it'll be Murphy Bernatowski guarding Winston Shepard. They go right away, they go down low to Nana Egwu, guarded by Kyle Barone, one-on-one in the post. He looks, gives it back to Shepard. 8 on the shot clock. Shepard over to Eversley. Eversley coming off the screen. Will take the long two. No, he'll pass it off. And an air ball as the first possession. Good defense there by the Saigon Heat. And not a bad look. The Saigon Heat will play it in quickly. And right away, Malaysia's putting the local Chin Chanhua on Trayvon Hughes, something that we saw last game that Jamie Perlman did against Mono Vampire. He put the locals on the world imports, and looks like he's starting out here the same. And back-to-back, well, turnover there. Winston Shepard a little bit too strong on the pass to Chin Chanhua, who's guarding here Trayvon Hughes. These two teams feeling each other out early on, but there's Trayvon Hughes aggressively coming off the screen and getting an easy look to knock down the first 2 points of the game. And on the other end, Malaysia the Dragons extending their offense, and Saigon Heat counters with extending their defense. And here's Jonathan Wong into the paint, puts up the runner, but no, he's going to get called for a travel. And a good call there by the official. It looks like Wong shuffled his feet, got away with one too many steps, and back-to-back turnovers for the Dragons. And right away, we're coming up. Both teams looking to execute in the half court. Trayvon Hughes comes aggressively off the screen, a little bit short with that three-pointer. And as we've seen all year long from the Saigon Heat, second chance opportunities. Murphy Bernatowski attacks the glass strong. Rebound by Chris Durker, who puts it up and in for the Saigon Heat. And once again, second chance opportunities for Saigon Heat. It's been something very helpful all year for their team. And here we go back down in the action. Nana Egwu with a post touch. And Malaysia Dragons off to 2 possessions, 2 air balls, and 2 turnovers to start the game. A little bit like how they started the game the first time they were here in CIS Arena. And that's going to be a foul on Winston Shepard. His first foul, and the team's first team foul as Kyle Barone. It's not a shooting foul. Looked like a controlled tip there for Kyle Barone, but the official saw it otherwise. That'll be baseline out of bounds for the Saigon Heat. Qualtron to inbound the ball into Trayvon Hughes, who puts up the shot from the corner, and bang with the three-pointer, Trayvon Hughes. And an early 7-0 lead for Saigon Heat. And we're seeing a little bit of what we saw in the first game here in Ho Chi Minh City. Saigon Heat jumping out to an early lead, and Jonathan Wong with a deep three, and that'll be too strong. Rebound Trayvon Hughes. Trayvon Hughes brings it up. He likes that mismatch with Chin guarding him. They go in low to Murphy Bernatowski, back into the lane. A quick three-pointer for Kyle Barone, and too strong. And here's Chris Eversley. Out fast, but Quatron does a good job of stopping the transition offense. And it'll be sideline out of bounds for the Malaysia Dragons. The Dragons a little sluggish here to start offensively. Some of that credit goes to Saigon Heat, playing good team defense, building a wall there inside the paint, making it hard for the Dragons to get quality looks. So here's a play they like to run. Egu on the fade, Shepard coming off the screen and roll. And the handoff long will take it in. We'll put up the tough runner. No good, a rebound, Barone. Off to Trayvon Hughes. And medium pressure into transition. Puts up the shot, a wild shot, no good. And here come the Dragons. Back in transition. There's Shepard over to Eversley, who puts up the three. Eversley, no good. Saigon Heat coming back the other way. Quatron takes it into the rim, and one. Quatron with the bucket and the finish. And a foul. Looks like a foul there, a second team foul on the Dragons. And a quick 9-0 lead for Saigon Heat as we have a timeout. Malaysia Dragons will be right back. Here we are back to CIS Arena for the ABL 9 matchup, Saigon Heat versus the Malaysia Dragons. And we are looking at a 10-0 early start for Saigon Heat, as we have scoreboard problems here at the other end. But nevertheless, 6:30 to go here. It's 10-0. Saigon Heat off to the quick start as the Malaysia Dragons are looking for their first 2 points of the game. Roshi Fai into the game, coming off a 19-point effort against the Mono Vampire. And that shot by Chris Eversley is too strong. Saigon Heat back, looking to attack aggressively. They get it in low to Durker. Chris Durker, shot coming up a little bit short, but the ball will stay on this end of the court with Saigon Heat. And once again, Saigon Heat with second chance opportunities as Quatron will look to inbound the ball. Out to Trayvon Hughes. Looks like Malaysia's going to a zone. They find it down low to Durker. Puts up the easy finish at the rim. And Saigon Heat off to a 12-0 start. Just under 6 minutes to go. Winston Shepard looks to get his team set up. Gets into the paint. And good defense by Murphy Bernatowski. And another turnover for the Dragons. The Dragons looked a little flat here, having played on Wednesday. A tough game against the Mono Vampire where they pulled out the victory. And now having to come into CIS Arena against the second place Saigon Heat. And Saigon's off to a really strong start thus far. And we're going to get a foul here on Chris Eversley. A little too aggressive there on the perimeter, defending Murphy Bernatowski. That'll be his first foul and the Dragons' third team foul. Saigon Heat looking to build on that early 12-0 lead. As the Dragons come out into a zone, they get the ball down or inside to Kyle Barone, who kicks it back out to Trayvon Hughes. Shot no good, but rebound Saigon Heat. Again, second chance opportunity. Trayvon Hughes looks for the sharp shooting Bernatowski, a bit strong. And here comes Eversley back quickly Dragons. A little sloppy play for the Dragons. Eversley gets into the lane, still can't finish. And the Dragons looking for their first points of the game. And a rebound, Bernatowski comes back, coming off the screen. Finds Quatron in the corner. Quatron puts up the three, deep three. And it's 15-0. Saigon Heat on a fadeaway three by Quatron. And here's Shepard putting up the long shot. That's going to be too strong. And rebound Trayvon Hughes. He comes back in transition. Oh, looks the turnover there. And a chance for the Malaysia Dragons to come back the other way. And the underrated deflection by the Saigon Heat. The Dragons will retain possession, looking for their first 2 points. And Coach Jamie Perlman going back to his bench. He's going to bring in Tan Wei Long in for Jonathan Wong. He's going to try to mix it up here a little bit. And we have some clock issues. It looks like the overhang clock above the basket near the Saigon Heat bench is having some mechanical difficulties, as the referees will attend to this. But let's talk about the Saigon Heat's hot start. Coming out 15-0. That 8-4 record. They've had a week of preparation. They've stayed home, no travel. Meanwhile, the Malaysia Dragons coming off a tough road victory on Wednesday night. Saigon Heat feeling no sympathy for the Road Warriors. They jump on them early. But we've seen that a lot here at CIS Arena, here in ABL 9. One team jumps out early, while the other team looks to fight back. But it's Saigon Heat this time jumping out to that 15-0 run, and they're taking no prisoners here early on at CIS Arena. And the fans are really enjoying this one, as they're used to seeing the first quarter go the other way. Let's see if Malaysia has any life to be able to turn this around, to try to slowly chip away at this lead. It's only the first quarter, still more than 4.5 left. No panic for Jamie Perlman and the Malaysia Dragons. They've been here before. They're battle tested. They've got 5 good victories here this year in the ABL. And they just need to take it one possession at a time. But meanwhile, let's see if the Saigon Heat continue with their defensive intensity. I know they've got 15 quick points here on the scoreboard, but it's been their defense that has fueled their ability to get points on the other end. Let's see how the Malaysia Dragons respond. So it's reset here, 4:34 left in the first quarter. It's 15-0 Saigon Heat. No team fouls for the Saigon Heat. 3 team fouls for the Malaysia Dragons. As again, they're looking for their first points of the game. They go down low to Eversley. Eversley looks, puts up the runner, and just a bit too strong. There's a lid on that rim there for the Malaysia Dragons. And Saigon Heat back quickly, looking for Tron. Looks for the fake against that zone, gets it into Barone, over to Hughes. Hughes into the paint, gives it to Barone for the easy stuff in the lane. And Trayvon Hughes, poised and composed into the lane, finds Barone for the easy fake and finish. And a turnover here as Hughes gets it from Eversley. Back into the front court. Hughes attacks the paint, finds Barone into the corner, looks right back to Hughes, comes off the screen, swings it to Bernatowski, finds Quatron in the corner, and bang! That's 20-0. Saigon Heat punching the Malaysia Dragons into the mouth here. And Eversley gets it out to Agwu, takes it to the handoff to Tan. And they're going to get a hand check foul on Chris Durker there. Tough call on the perimeter for Durker. Only his first foul, and the Heat's first team foul with 3:16 left in the quarter. And where are the Dragons going to go to get their first points? They've gone to Agwu, they've gone to Shepard. Some of their locals have taken chances. As Eversley attacks Durker and gets the and one for the first 2 points of the ball game for the Malaysia Dragons. And Chris Eversley gets them on the board at the 3:10 mark left in the first quarter. And he'll go to the free throw line to try to complete the much needed 3-point play for the Dragons. And that's the second foul on Chris Durker and the second team foul on the Saigon Heat. And for the Malaysian Dragons, they just got to take it one possession at a time. Still more than 3 minutes left in the first quarter. All they got to do is worry about getting stops and getting quality possessions, as the free throw is no good. And here comes Trayvon Hughes back to Quadron, attacks the lane, looks for Kyle Barone, who kicks it to Murphy Bernatowski, a bit strong on a three-pointer. Here comes Winston Shepard, back for the Dragons. Finds Chris Eversley on the wing, down low to Nana Egwu, back to Eversley, guarded by Trayvon Hughes. Down low to Egwu, clears out the side, he looks to take Barone one-on-one, and a bit strong is Eversley with the offensive rebound. Doesn't give up on the play, and a block by Kyle Barone. As Barone showing his effectiveness early on for Saigon Heat. Quatron for another three, and that will be no good. Rebound, Nana Egwu. Good transition defense by Saigon Heat. As everybody gets back, stops the potential Dragons. Fast break, and Loshi 5 with a move to the basket will get bumped by Quatron, and that'll be his first foul, and the Saigon Heat's third team foul. So we've got 2 fouls on Durker and 1 foul here on Quatron. As Kyle Julius will go to his bench for the first time today, and he'll bring in Corey Cilia for Chris Durker. Chris Durker will get a rest with those 2 fouls, and Corey Durker will come in and he'll guard Loshi 5. As we got a one-on-one matchup here, Winston Shepard versus Kyle Barone. Good defense by Murphy Bernatowski. Nana Egwu puts up the long three, and it's nothing but air. And that's good defense as Winston Shepard's looking to attack the rim, but Murphy Bernatowski stays in front of him, forces a long shot. And here we are sitting at 20-2 still. About 2 minutes left in the first quarter. And there's Quatron with his third three-point shot of the ball game. And that's 9 early points for Quatron. And it's 23-2 for the Saigon Heat. And Kyle Barone with another rejection at the rim. Here comes Trayvon Hughes. Looking for Quatron, who's got 3 early threes. Corey Cilia back into the game, who's also a corner three-point shooter. Quatron on fire here early with 12 points and 4 three-pointers. As Kyle Julius gives a little smile and looks up here into the crowd. 26-2 now, Saigon Heat. Chris Eversley with the step-back shot. A little bit short, Quatron pushes it. He's got the hot hand. Let's see if the Saigon Heat takes advantage of it. If they go with a hot hand play, they get it to the corner. There's Tron. Over to Bernatowski, into Kyle Barone, over to Trayvon Hughes, to Corey Cilia, who puts up the three, and off the mark. He was looking for Quatron, trying to get him another look to build off those 12 first quarter points. And where are the Dragons going to go here? And Nana Egwu gets an easy one against Trayvon Hughes. Tomorrow's Quatron's 22nd birthday, and maybe he's looking for an early Christmas present with those 12 first quarter points, matching last game's total already. And here's a turnover by Saigon Heat, and Chris Eversley with the finish will make it 26-6 now with 15 seconds, 15.1 remaining in the first quarter, as Kyle Julius calls out one shot here for the Saigon Heat. And Quatron will come up against Loshi 5 with 8 seconds to go. We'll see if Quatron gets a last-second shot here. He'll put it over to Kyle Barone, and a great pass there, and a 28-6 end of the first quarter for the Saigon Heat. An outstanding first quarter play all around, offensively and defensively, led by 12 first quarter points from Quatron. As we head to the second quarter, it's the Saigon Heat 28, the Malaysia Dragons 6. And back here we are at CIS Arena for PL9 basketball, the Saigon Heat versus the Malaysia Dragons. And at the start of the second quarter, for the first quarter, it was all Saigon Heat, 28-6. Quatron with 15 first quarter points, outscoring the Malaysia Dragons themselves. Quatron 4 3-pointers on 4 or 5 shooting. Make that 5 of 6 shooting for Quatron, 4 or 5 from the 3-point line. And where are the Dragons going to go to try to pick up their offense there? And they come out in the zone to try to slow the Saigon Heat down, but they don't slow them down. In fact, Murphy Bernatowski to Kyle Barone with the easy finish as the Saigon Heat doing everything right here early on. And Malaysia now looking for answers, looking to find offense here. Is already below 10 on the shot clock as Sang Din into the ballgame here guarding Chris Eversley. As we look at, John puts up the runner, no good. And rebound Kyle Barone. Off to Trayvon Hughes. Trayvon Hughes into the lane. Kicks it over to Corey Cilia, puts up the corner three, and bang! Corey Cilia with his first points of the ball game, and it's now a 33-6 Saigon Heat lead as they're getting contributions from everybody. Quatron, Corey Cilia, Chris Durker, Kyle Barone. Sang Din with the rebound, kicks it over to Trayvon Hughes, who puts up the off-the-bank runner, and that one's good. And again, everything going right here for Saigon Heat. It's 35-6 as Loshi 5 puts up the runner, no good. Nana Egwu with the offensive rebound and putback. They make that 35-8 now. And again, for Malaysia, they just got to take it one step at a time, one possession at a time. And there's one right there. With a rebound, Winston Shepard right back to Loshi 5, who puts up the three, and no good for Loshi 5. Rebound, Saigon Heat. Kyle Barone attacks it into the paint, finds Corey Cilia, over to Murphy Bernatowski. Trayvon Hughes at the top of the key, and bang! Another three. 38-8 for the Saigon Heat. And speaking of the Heat, my partner, Carlo. Well, they're called the Saigon Heat for a reason, because that's exactly what they're coming out with, is the Heat. 38-10. Everything falling for Saigon Heat.
Against the Westports Malaysia Dragons from their last game, huh?
Look, I'll tell you what, they're coming out, partner. I know you brought the Heat in there with them, and maybe the Dragons needed you to come in, bring a little sub to mix it up, but everything going right. Quatron, 15 early points as he gives Trayvon Hughes a break.
Bernatowski drives inside as he's fouled from behind. The sweet shooting wing for the Saigon Heat will take 2 free throws. Let's see this play one more time. Good attack. You can see there the foul coming from behind. The arm brushing off against the top of the head of Murphy Bernatowski.
Yeah, it's Nana Egwu with only his first foul, and he hit him right across the head. But Jamie Perlman is mixing it up. He's playing zone, he's playing man, and can't seem to get it working. Saigon Heat. Did that go off the backboard?
Yep, he missed it so bad he made it.
The sharp shooting Murphy Bernatowski. He can make baskets in a number of ways, and not so generous with that one there. But it's been all Saigon Heat thus far, partner.
I'm sure he would not mind that single free throw miss, as everything else has fallen for them here in the first half.
Yeah, everything. They're making great plays.
Along with a great drive to the hoop off the glass, but that is just a meager reply. They need to work on their defense to be able to get closer in this contest.
Since you showed up, they've gotten back-to-back buckets, so maybe you're the lucky charm. There's Quatron with a wild three. That's a little bit long and off the mark.
Asking for a foul there, but the referee's refusing to bail them out.
And here we are, 6 straight baskets for the, make that
6 straight points.
6 straight points for the Dragons, and a much-needed mini run. There's a lot of time left here in the game.
Kyle Julius calling for a timeout. 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in your first half of play. 39-14 is the count in favor of Saigon Heat. Back with us inside the CIS Stadium here in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, as the Saigon Heat play hosts to the Westports Malaysia Dragons right now. If you take a look at the standings, they're beside each other at number 2 and number 3. That just makes the result of this game so much more important as these two teams try to stay in pace with the defending champions San Miguel Ala Pilipinas.
That's right. You know, this is a separation game for Saigon Heat, partner. You know, they're 8-4, and they're playing really well. They've taken command of some of these games recently, and they got a chance to get to 9-4 and separate themselves from the other teams in their division. And they're off to a hot start. You know, they could still be stinging from that loss in Kuala Lumpur on the tip-in by Winston Shepard, and Kyle Julius has his club ready, and that's why they're off to the hot start.
Barone now posting up. Barone makes his move. Great help defense. Unlucky break there as he just lost his handle on the ball.
Yeah, Sangdan was in good position to finish it, and on the way up, the ball just slipped out of his hands. That happens, but here's a chance for Malaysia to string off, to make a little run. And there's still 6 minutes to go, and what Jamie Perlman told his team is, hey, just keep playing, guys. Anything can happen. One possession at a time. Try to get it to within striking distance by halftime.
The silver lining about falling behind early in the game is that you have a lot of time to make up for it. And now, even if they're down by a mile, the Westports Malaysia Dragons, as we've known that they're capable of, can get back into contest even against a team as good as the Saigon Heat.
That's right. We've seen it from a lot of teams this year. Saigon Heat especially get down double digits, but right now they're down 25. That's not 12. That's not 13. They're down 25. And Quadron alone has outscored the Malaysia Dragons thus far. I mean, they're going to have to rattle off a 11-1, 14-3 type run.
And they need to stop focusing on getting buckets on the other side, because right now the problem for them is defense.
41 points with 5:25 left to play. Already 3 team fouls here in the second quarter. And Quadron, 17 early points. I was going to call it 18, but he left me hanging on that one. And here we're back up to a 27-point lead, but again, one possession at a time. Let's see if the Dragons can do it.
Quadron has played solid minutes for the Saigon Heat, especially when Trayvon Hughes was not available for them. But now he's showing us his full offensive arsenal as the Dragons gets 2 points right back there, coming from Cheng Chin.
And that's a good shot by Chin. That's a much-needed basket. Oh, good play by Quadron.
And that happened, Kevin, because of his aggression in looking for his own shot. They were so worried about trying to stop him, they left Barone open down low.
And this is what we saw a lot of Quadron in the VBA this year. His ability to make plays outside the perimeter.
Oh, good steal there, as this will be an easy layup for the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
Yeah, we're having clock issues in the same basket. The overhead clock having some mechanical functions. And that'll be almost like a timeout for the Saigon Heat. The inadvertent, unintentional clock malfunction timeout, I like to call it.
We'll have a short lull in the action. When we come back, we will resume it with 4 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in your second quarter of play. Again, the Saigon Heat just outclassing The Westports Malaysia Dragons 43-18. An impressive offensive display coming from the home squad.
Very impressive, partner. And our staff guy here next to us, we're putting in our halftime order already. Right? We're going to have our hot dog eating contest like we always do at halftime. And we're going to send him along his way. Thank you over there, Khan. We appreciate that.
Coach Kevin, almost 50% shooting in the first quarter for the Saigon Heat. Barely 17% for the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
And we saw that in the first game here, partner. Here in Saigon Heat, the Dragons shot 19% in the first half. It was a woeful start, but they came back. They came fighting back into that third and fourth quarter here in Ho Chi Minh City, and there's still 4:30 left. All Coach Jamie Perlman is telling his team to do now is hang in there. Don't try to erase a 25-point lead in the next 4 minutes. There's still 24 plus minutes left in this game. If you can get down 30, 25-30 this early, you can whittle away at the lead. And I like it. You know, coming here out of the unintentional timeout, we look at good leadership here by Jonathan Wong. The Dragons are huddled up and they're saying, come on guys, we know we're better than this.
And when you have a guy like Chris Eversley who can lead your squad, look at how he tries to give confidence to his locals, as he knows they will need the help of everyone in this squad to be able to claw their way back into this matchup.
That's all they got to do is just, again, take it one possession at a time. And I know it's 25. It looks like an insurmountable lead, but there's a lot of basketball left. We've seen this in not just ABL games, but games, NBA games as well. There's a lot that could happen.
Bernatowski receives the ball, gives it back to Quatran. Quatrax layup will not work, but he was fouled on his way to the hoop.
Quatran really, and I'm not surprised by this. I know this player, having had to coach against him, the unfortunate pleasure of game planning against him. He's extremely capable of playing at this level. He's a local player, but he's got a very wide skill set. They call him Mr. Wiggle because of his ability to be elusive and flashy. And we see it here. He's off to a tremendous start.
If you look at his free throw, there's also a bit of a wiggle there. That may be why, I think.
Is that a wiggle? Or is that he's doing like a hula hoop there, it looks like, right?
That's a hip wiggle.
That's the hula wiggle, right? I think if he keeps doing that any further, he's going to break a hip.
You know what? Nothing is broken right now with this shot, as he has led the scoring for the Saigon Heat. I mean, how often would this happen, that a local for the Saigon Heat leads them in scoring? I don't think it has ever happened in this season.
Yeah, he's 18 points, and hey, we like to say, feed the hot hand. Look, he's over here on the perimeter, and he gets another one. Good attack. Sangin runs to the corner. Oh, but looks like he went crashing in. Can't tell if it was an ankle. Looks like a high ankle from the way he's holding himself, but he's in a lot of pain, and that's really unfortunate. He's off to a fantastic start as we look at the replay. And, we didn't see anything there from the replay. He landed, pretty firm on that 1 foot, but he's holding his ankle there, but he's in a lot of pain.
He was hanging on to that shin bone. Of course, we're hoping that it's nothing too serious. Hopefully just a cramp.
Yeah, I see their trainer there, Jamal, is out there flexing. That looks like that back ankle part there, the calf. And Justin Young here on the sidelines, who's recovering from an ankle injury in uniform. Not sure if we'll see action from him. We didn't get a report from the team before the game, but certainly if it's an ankle there, we can't speculate, but by the looks of it, it's be really unfortunate. Off to 20 points here is Quatran, and he could go for a big number today if he's able to stay in the game.
Quatran will be helped by two of the members of their staff as he gets a nice ovation from the fans here inside the CIS Stadium. And why not? He has led them in scoring already with 20 points in the game, outscoring the Westports Malaysia Dragons by his lonesome.
Yeah, he's outscored him 20 to 18. Well, maybe let's see if that sparks the Dragons, right? You know, the hot shooting Quadron is now out of the game, and maybe that can change up their game plan. I don't think Jamie Perlman expected Quadron to put up 20 first half points.
I don't think Quadron expected Quadron to put up 20 first half points, but when you're hot, you're hot. Meanwhile, a miss here coming from the Dragons as Sam Din loses his grip on the ball. That's the second time that he had control of the ball and then lost possession altogether.
See, Quatron, you know, I'm going to disagree with you there, partner. He expects to score 30 every time he plays. And I don't mean that in a negative way. He is a positively confident player. And tomorrow's his birthday, and he wants to enter 22 with more than 22 points. And so we'll see if he comes back, how that injury unfolds here over the game.
Egwu with a jumper. That will not work as Barone takes care of the board. Forward pass to Trayvon Hughes. 3 minutes and 17 seconds remaining. Hughes is fouled, and that will be team foul number 5 for the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
Yeah, and 0 team fouls for Saigon Heat. So I mean, everything going right here and everything going wrong for the Dragons. They can't get shots to fall. They're in the bonus. On the other end, they're not attacking the glass enough with Saigon Heat, 0 team fouls. So this game, yeah, obviously is completely one-sided, and you know, we'll see if the Dragons can hang in there.
Trayvon Hughes frustrated with himself that he missed that first free throw. As you see Quatran still holding on to that high ankle, almost the tip of the shin bone. Hopefully for his sake, and of course all the fans here, he returns to action in the second half.
Yeah, sometimes with those ankles, you know, you land on it, you feel a tweak,
yeah,
like a snap, and your first reaction is something just happened. And then as time goes on, you shake it off a little bit. Maybe, you know, let's hope that's the case for Quatron.
The halftime break will surely be welcome for him, as that is coming up in just 3 seconds. Meanwhile, Westports Malaysia Dragons trying to look for the crease in the defense. They can't find it. Another stop for the Saigon Heat. Trayvon Hughes showing us his handles, but he pulls it back.
This match here, Trayvon Hughes, he sees it. He uses the screen. He can get whatever he wants against Egwu.
But Egwu doing a great job of staying in front of him. There is the other mismatch down low with Egwu busy. With Trayvon Hughes, the local, that was Logi Fai, ended up guarding Kyle Barone, and that is just an end one waiting to happen.
It's just too easy. You know, you see Kyle Barone, he feels the switch. He gets down low on Logi Fai, and he does exactly what a big guy should do. Get inside the restricted area and seal. And Trayvon Hughes, no resistance from Egwu on the perimeter. He just an easy dump down pass for the and one.
We're all in awe of the scoring talent of Trayvon Hughes and the shooting of Murphy Bernatowski. But you cannot understate the importance of Kyle Barone for the Saigon Heat in this season.
Yeah, he's the Mr. Do Everything. Really. He's getting all kinds of, he's putting up all kinds of numbers. And he's a double-double machine, but he already has 2 blocks in the game. He's got a couple of assists. Second chance points, at least 3 second chance opportunities. He's doing everything for his team right now.
I will put you in a tough situation here. If you would nominate one of their 3 imports for that World Import MVP award, who would it be?
Well, you know, I'm gonna you know, sound a little bit biased here, but I just look at Trayvon Hughes and I feel like he's at a different level. I said it early on in the season. I put Trayvon Hughes as an MVP candidate, one of the top 3 or 4 players in the league. Just what he does at so many different levels to lead this team, and his poise and composure with the basketball.
Oh, look at that move coming from Trayvon Hughes, setting up Kyle Barone perfectly. It was just fitting that we were talking about him when he pulls off stuff like that.
Yeah, usually when I say something about somebody, it goes the other way, and when you say something about somebody, they become a hero. But everything going right for Saigon Heat in this game.
52 to 18. What a dominant performance for the Saigon Heat. Look at the shots that the Dragons have to take because of the defense of the Saigon Heat right now. It's mostly one-on-one for the visitors.
Yeah, the one-on-one defense by Saigon Heat is sensational. Chris Durker guarding the quicker Jonathan Wong and staying in front and forcing him into that tough shot.
Missed with a layup there coming from the Dragons. Less than a minute remaining. Murphy Bernatowski against Egu. Din attacks baseline. Extra pass to Durker.
And a lot of contact there. Wow. But I think in a 34-point game, the referees they're gonna make sure it's a sure thing if they're gonna call something. But I could hear the slaps all the way from here. And I'm looking at Jamie Perlman here. He knows his team's coming out really flat in the first half.
Yeah.
I like his demeanor. He's not getting on his guys. It's one game. They're still 5-3. They're doing very well this season, and no panic by Jamie Perlman. I like his approach.
Eversley driving to his left. Egu receives the pass down low and gets the friendly bounce.
Yeah, and one shot time here for Saigon Heat. As Kyle Julius calls out looks like a 51 play here, his final play of the first half. As Saigon Heat will look to end the half on a made basket to try to build on their 32-point lead.
They get the switch. Trayvon Hughes is fouled, and he will take 2 free throws.
Yeah, that's 2 free throws with 1.8 remaining.
Do you really want to switch that high ball situation against a guy like Trayvon Hughes?
That's been the MO for the Dragons all year. I saw it live the other day against Mono Vampire. They switched all ball screens, and they're doing it here. They put a local on Trayvon Hughes, and they figure off the ball screens, they'll switch with one of their imports. And what's Kyle Julius doing to counter that? He's putting Egu into those ball screen situations and having Egu switch on to Trayvon Hughes. And that's a mismatch. Advantage Saigon Heat.
I mean, you can get away with doing that against Jason Brickman, even with Freddie Lish, undoubtedly talented players. But as you said, Trayvon Hughes is just a notch above in terms of point guard talent.
He's just going to size up Egu and attack his hip and then make the right read.
Egu to beat the buzzer. Almost, but not quite. Things have not fallen for the Westports Malaysia Dragons. Meanwhile, for the Saigon Heat, almost everything they put up found the bottom of the net. And you have to credit their local Quatran for leading the fight for them in the first 20 minutes.
Absolutely, partner. Quatran equaled the scoring output for the Malaysia Dragons. And we're watching him walk off the court here after the first half. And he looks like he's walking okay. We'll see with this kind of lead whether he comes back in the second half.
He matched their output after missing the final, 4 minutes of the first half because of that ankle injury. We will be back to break down the statistics for you and the half here inside the CIS Stadium in Ho Chi Minh.
A team pioneering in basketball development activities in Vietnam, but also an active team in community projects. With the campaign together with that, Saigon Heat wishes.
What makes a champion? Passion, grit, determination.
A challenge can make or break you. Work hard in silence. Let success be your noise.
Never stop. You can only get better. The only one that can hold you back is yourself.
I'm a warrior. I put my war paint on.
We are the composers of our own destiny. Nothing is out of reach if we dare to dream the impossible. Believe the unbelievable and never take no for an answer. Because greatness is in all of us. For we are all champions.
Buckle up because it's time for your Asean Basketball League Top 10 Plays of the Week. In at number 10, it was a tough week for San Miguel Alab Pilipinas with 2 losses, but they can take delight in this sweet pass from DJ Ramos finding Brandon Rosser for the throwdown over Hong Kong Eastern. And now we go to number 9 as O'Darian Bassett, one of the newest faces of Hong Kong, introducing himself to everyone with his crazy shot over the outstretched arms of John Fields III. Check out the extension that he he had to do over fields to get that up and in for Hong Kong at number 8. We stay with Hong Kong Eastern as Marcus Elliott testing the rim and exploding with the throwdown over the Saigon Heat in the CIS Arena. Get out of the way of that gentleman. In at number 7, check out this sweet counter by Saigon. Able to find Bernatowski for the monster throwdown, and Bernatowski and the rest of the Heat would have a dunk fest against the Hong Kong Eastern basketball team in this impressive victory. At number 6, we go to the Westports Malaysia Dragons as Jonathan Wong with his incredibly athletic move, part of this huge run for the Westports Malaysia Dragons to eventually pull up this upset over San Miguel Alab Pilipinas. At number 5, Mike Bell getting fancy with it as he finds Kai Chen for the sweeping hook. Fooling the entire Singapore Stingers front court, giving enough time for Kai Chen to roll to the rim for 2. At number 4, Xavier Alexander, the X-Man, one of the best world imports in ABL history, able to find John Fields for that explosion that sent Samuel Viguar to the floor. Check out, no landing, no dribbles, none needed for the X-Man. At number 3, one of the craziest plays of the season belonging to the former MVP Wong Wei Long, the nutmeg on Watkins. And he finds Jawata for the 3 from beyond the arc. A historic night needed a historic play from Wong Wei Long, as the Knights would make 22 3-pointers, setting a new ASEAN Basketball League.
Welcome back to the CIS Stadium here in Ho Chi Minh as we take a look at the halftime stats between the Saigon Heat and the Westports Malaysia Dragons. Exact same number of field goals, but look at the conversions. 50% for Saigon, 25 only for the Dragons.
Not only that, partner, but look at the assists. 14 Saigon Heat assists to only 1 for the Malaysia Dragons. And, you know, what can we say? It's been a total dominating performance for the Saigon Heat in the first half of 34 points. And, you know, if you're the Malaysia Dragons, if you're Jamie Perlman, just tell your guys, look, it's down 34 with only a half left to play. It's going to be tough to come back and win the game, but just find positive things to get headed in the right direction for the remainder of this game.
Three-point shooting also working out well for the Saigon Heat. As usual, they are one of the best three-point shooting teams out there. As you take a look now at that, their leading scorers, Quatran, leading everyone with 20 points. Trevon Hughes with 13 alongside Kyle Baron. Durker chipping in 4 on the other side. The imports not really playing very well, with Egu leading them with 8. The problem is the main gunners of Westports Malaysia and Chris Eversley and Jonathan Wong combining for 3 of 19 from the field.
Well, you know, credit that. A big credit of that goes to the Saigon Heat defense. And we're watching their one-on-one defense, and their guys are staying in front of the Dragons. They're not reaching. They're not hip checking. They're moving their feet. They're keeping their eyes locked in on the offensive player, and they're forcing tough shots.
And the Dragons are also playing into this strength defensively for the Saigon Heat because they're not really moving the ball around. And as you said, the result is only a single assist for them in the first 20 minutes of action.
Well, I say this often. Assists are kind of a misleading stat. You can make a great pass, make a great setup, but you don't get the assist unless your teammate finishes. So those assist numbers are not reflective, or necessarily reflective of the Dragons not sharing the ball, but rather the ball is just not going in the basket.
Few seconds before the start of our second half. Again, we thank you for joining us. You are still watching the elimination round of your Asean Basketball League.
And a good sign here for the Saigon Heat, partner.
Yeah.
Is Quatron will start the second half. Apparently that ankle injury, what appears to be an ankle injury, looks like it was minor, and he's going to give it a go in the second half, and that's a good sign for him and a good sign for the Heat.
Again, the Saigon Heat doing their best to stay in pace with the top team in the league, the defending champion San Miguel Ala Pilipinas. You know, of course you want to finish in the top 1, maybe even the top 2 after the elimination round because of the home court advantage that it provides you at the start of the playoffs.
Yeah, and CIS Arena, as we know, we've done a lot of games here, partner. It's a definite home court advantage. The fans are right on top of the action. It's loud. It's something where the Saigon Heat play really well in.
Miss from the three-point range coming from Shepard as a push is called against Murphy Bernatowski.
Yeah, and you know, I think it's actually good officiating. You know, down 34 points, I don't expect Saigon Heat to get a lot of favorable calls. They don't want the game to get too lopsided, so anything that's close will go to the advantage of the Dragons, or at least it should.
Long the jumper rattles out as the rebound goes to Egwu. Fresh 14 in the shot now for Westports Malaysia. You know what? Only a single point for Murphy Bernatowski. They have not needed anything from him because of the hot shooting of Quatron in this game.
Yeah, Quatron, that's all he needed to do. And kind of a funny play there.
Yeah.
And Kyle Julius is upset about something.
And I think he is right because the table officials are saying that it was it?
No, it
shot clock violation?
It wasn't. Eversley missed the shot, but it hit the rim. And the horn went off, but the ball hit the rim, and he just got the rebound in the putback. So Kyle Julius must see something early on here that he wants to make an adjustment with.
I think the frustration was that his team stopped playing, hoping that it was indeed a 24-second shot clock violation, as he calls a very early timeout here in the third quarter.
Vâng, một sự lên cao để gửi lên các bạn. Hãy sẵn rồi.
54-22. Dominant display of basketball for the Saigon Heat thus far. And we know that they are capable of scoring like this. They are a team that is bred for explosions offensively. But what we're not used to seeing is the lack of effort right now coming from the Dragons.
You know, they just got punched in the mouth and they haven't been able to punch back. But this Saigon Heat team is extremely dangerous. When you start getting players like Quatron, who are able to get 20 in the first half, and we've seen it, Chris Durker and Sang Din all get high double-digit numbers, they become a very dangerous team when they can beat you 6 or 7 different ways.
Good move coming from Kyle Barone, using the pivot to evade the defense of Nana Egu. Back to a 34-point lead.
Yeah, and right there, the presence of Quatron being on the floor and having 20 points, the defense has to extend a little bit more, and Barone gets an easy one-on-one opportunity, and he takes advantage.
Eversley still struggling from the field, but Shepard gets the offensive rebound and converts it into second chance points.
In Malaysia, you know, they're going to keep fighting. Coach Jamie Perlman, not going to let his guys give up. He's going to battle till the end and take whatever result they get.
Trayvon Hughes missing there, but an easy putback for Kyle Barone, as again, after the high ball screen, Egu ends up with Trayvon Hughes. That's just a field day for Barone inside.
Yeah, it's actually beautiful coaching. It's a beautiful game plan there. If I'm seeing Nana Egu switch on that screen, I'm putting him in screen and roll all day, and I'm telling him, you go ahead and try to guard Trayvon Hughes. Try to guard my point guard, my leader.
Big handoff coming from Bernatowski. He hooks the pass, but it was tapped out by Westports Malaysia. 15 seconds in the shot block for the Saigon Heat.
We'll see if Saigon Heat tries to run something here for Quatron. Let's see if they can look to get him going.
Quatron, that foot looks okay right now after hurting it late in the second quarter. Barone, again, a pivot move. Missing the shot this time, though.
That was an excellent move. Great footwork. Nana Egu is an elite in-the-paint defender, and that's an excellent move by Barone. He just couldn't get the finish.
3-point shot is good for Chin.
And that's the first 3-point basket made for the Dragons. And you can see a little pep in their step. They got 5 straight points.
Chendo committing the foul on the other side.
Yeah, the help there was middle, and Chin forced him baseline. There was no help there. Trayvon Hughes overpowered him to the basket. Looked like a shooting foul there, but the referee saw it different. Like I said, Saigon Heat's not going to get a lot of calls when they're up 30.
Quatron lobs a pass to Barone. Kick out pass to Trayvon Hughes. Trayvon. Quatron against Shepard. Hands it off to Bernatowski. Still could not buy his first field goal of the matchup.
Yeah, but they're still getting everything they want offensively. Normally that's a really good shot for Bernatowski. You know, he hasn't gotten it going yet in this game, but he will.
Coach Perlman asking for a foul there. A lot of contact. As this one will be whistled on the other side as Quatron slams his shoulder against the stanchion. He's getting beaten up in this contest.
We're going to have to get... I always joke with the players about we're going to get one of those sumo wrestling costumes and have a fight at center court. That's what that looked like. Quatron just lowered his shoulder like he was trying to tackle the basket. But obviously he got fouled, and here's a chance to add to his career high. And he puts the first free throw up a little strong, and maybe a little less wiggle will give him a little bit more consistency at the free free throw line. We'll see.
Quatran feeling like he can take anyone. You know, you heard the crowd giggle a little bit after that wiggle coming from Quatran.
That's going to be their new slogan. Giggle for the wiggle.
Oh, a poor pass there, stolen easily by Trayvon Hughes. He's bringing the ball down. Trayvon to Quatran, wide open for three. No good. Rebound for the Dragons. And they go off running. Chris Eversley, layup is good.
And Quatran, you know, he's got a couple of missed free throws. That was a good look. Saw Trayvon Hughes sizing up the defense. He saw his backcourt mate pop open on the screen, or on the wing, and he just missed it.
Good defensive effort there coming from Egwu, forcing Trayvon to miss the jumper. Loshi 5 for 3. Good.
Yeah, and here come the Dragons. Just, you know, one possession at a time. You know, again, it's a pretty deep lead here, a big lead for Saigon Heat, but it's hard when you're up 30, 35 points.
Yeah.
It's hard to stay focused. You know, telling your guys, you know, stay locked in. Don't make mistakes. I mean, it is hard to do that.
Because every time they look at the score, they see that they're comfortably ahead.
You know, I know as a coach, you're telling your guys, the score is 0-0. You know, we're down 5. The players know better. They can see they get a feel of the game. They know what the score is all about. But as a coach, when you have a big lead like this, you tell your guys, just keep playing. Don't develop any bad habits. And that's what happens sometimes in these games is the end of the game gets kind of sloppy and then it hangs over to the next game with bad habits. And that's what Coach Kyle Julius doesn't want to see from his team.
Much better defense coming from Egwu that time around as he stayed home on the pivots of Kyle Baron. Meanwhile, Saigon gets a stop. A bounce pass though stolen by Loshi 5.
Yeah, good defense. Good job by Loshi 5 to get back in transition.
Low, another 3. Too strong. Baron with the board.
Yeah, good look though. He just hit one. And if he'd have knocked that one down, the Dragons maybe could get on a little run and you know, get some more confidence.
Approaching the midway mark of our third quarter. Again, teams number 2 and number 3 currently in our standings going at it. And thus far, the Saigon just outclassing the Dragons as Bernatowski finally gets his first field goal of this contest.
Yeah, you got to force to the middle there. You can't force baseline.
That's an and one for Egwu.
Yeah, and one. And you know, I like this. In the first half, partner, the Dragons were walking the ball up the floor, and they were getting tough shots. Saigon was locking in. They were anchoring down defensively, staying home in the paint, and forcing the Dragons into tough shots. Now, Winston Shepard is an athletic player. Get the ball moving a little bit. Play with pace. You got nothing to lose. It didn't work in the first half, playing slow. So pick up the pace and see if you can, you know, whittle away at the lead and try to get, you know, multiple possessions.
And you absolutely could not play slow down by this much because you need more possessions if you're the Dragons.
Yeah, what's the point, right?
Trayvon Hughes against Loshi 5. Again, they switch. Good switch back coming from the Dragons.
Yeah, that was a nice soft hedge by Egwu.
Bernatowski only needed to see the ball go through the hoop, and now it's all guns blazing for the sweet shooter.
That's what scorers do. They just need a basket to go down, a free throw, something, and then once they get that first one, then the basket opens up a little bit.
Wong, tough angle, could not kiss it off the glass and in.
Yeah, Wong got away with a travel there. He shuffled his feet at the top of the key, but like I said, don't expect Saigon Heat to get a lot of calls with this kind of lead.
A good steal there coming from Shepard. As a foul is whistled, could be against Trayvon Hughes.
We've seen that call a lot this year as an unsportsmanlike foul, but I like it. I like that. I haven't liked a lot of the unsportsmanlike fouls.
Yeah.
I was watching the Mono Vampire Malaysia Dragons game the other day, and there are a lot of questionable unsportsmanlike fouls called in the game. I like the referees to allow the players to play a little bit more.
This one just a loose ball foul. Both players still chasing for possession. As Loshi 5 will try again from the outside. He is heating up.
The marksman Loshi 5 with 6 of 7 in his last game against Mono Vampire. 19 points. And he's got a couple of threes here in the third quarter.
He has scored in double digits in their last 3 games. All wins, by the way. So you can feel just how important he is to this squad.
He is. You know, he's a veteran ABL player. He's one of the few guys on the team that has good ABL minutes. And we've got a wedgie.
Wedgie alert here at the CIS Stadium.
Yeah, that's a wedgie alert.
And the possession arrow will side with the Saigon Heat.
It looked like Winston Shepard got fouled. But nevertheless, no foul, but a wedgie. Now, wedgie, that term has multiple meaning, but in the basketball sense.
It's very PG in basketball sense.
That's right.
Now we have an official timeout as the clock is out again on the side of the Saigon Heat this time around.
Yeah, and then a chance for Jamie Perlman to huddle his guys up. Tell them, hey, let's, guys, don't look at the score. Just take a possession at a time. Let's get our defense locked in. Let's try to get stops. And let's push it the other way, see if we can't rattle off a few buckets.
It's a 3-game winning streak for the Westports Malaysia Dragons, and that is what's at stake for them right now. Saigon Heat, meanwhile, winning their last 2 games as they want to challenge for the top spot. Right now, Coach, with the way they are playing, as you said, they have a chance against any team in the league.
They've got Trayvon Hughes. They've got a cast of talented local players who are all gaining confidence, who are all contributing in different ways, who are accepting and growing in their roles on the team. They've got the Mr. Do-Everything in Kyle Barone, and they've got the very versatile inside-out player in Murphy Bernatowski. They've got all the pieces, partner. They've got a championship team, chemistry, makeup, and Kyle Julius has brought a championship formula. These guys are locked in, and that's a product of the hard work that the coaching staff has put in and the dedication and commitment that these players have shown.
The Saigon Heat have not advanced past the semifinals in their ABL stints. They're hoping that will all change with the entry of guys like Kyle Barone, who already has a double-double with 17 points and 11 rebounds in this contest.
You saying Kyle Barone has a double-double is like saying the sky is blue or there's traffic in Bangkok.
It's automatic.
It's automatic. And he walks in the gym, you hand him 17 and 13 automatically. It's that easy for him. But credit to him because he's earned that. So nothing's given to him. He goes out and he takes it.
And another good thing about the Saigon Heat is that they were able to weather challenges into their campaign, especially the injury to Young and, of course, Trayvon Hughes missing a couple of games. And they look good even with a substitute import. They just are locked in here in the season.
Yeah, and again, credit to the coaching staff for keeping guys focused, not allowing injuries or schedule changes. Sometimes the travel can be a little tedious in the ABL, getting the different routes, as you know from experience today, right, partner?
Well, it happens to everyone.
And credit the coaching staff for keeping his guys locked in. I'm fortunate enough to be able to spend some time around this team, and they work really hard. These guys, Coach Julius, he commands a lot from these guys, and he does a great job of getting them ready and keeping them focused. And they had injuries early, but it's early in the season.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you have injuries, it creates opportunities for other guys to step up and make an impact. Guys that might otherwise not be in the rotation to get some minutes, get some confidence, find their way to help their team.
Case in point, when Trayvon Hughes was knocked down with a leg injury, players like Quatran and Sang Din had to play more at the point position, and now look at the confidence that they're playing with. Even with the return of Trayvon Hughes, they're still playing like they can handle the point guard duties without their impressive import.
And look how well Saigon Heat is playing down this stretch. And no Justin Young, one of their key players.
Their game winner in their first game here in the season.
One of their top local players, a Mr. Do-Everything type guy like Kyle Barone. But, his injury has allowed Chris Durker to really flourish. And we've seen Durker come on over the last 6 or 7 games and has really been a big factor for Saigon Heat.
Well, Durker will be very important for the campaign of the Saigon Heat, especially on defense as Shepard connects with a banker here. I think the Saigon Heat agreed to continue playing even with the clock not working on their side, as we will get the opportunity to fix that up in between quarters.
That we will, and we got the clock on the other side, so the bench and the coaching staff will take.
Oh, wow, a rainbow for Trayvon Hughes over the outstretched arms of Nana Egmo.
Yeah, he's not fooled by that screen, that switch, I should say. He sees Egwu and he's just lining him up. It just looks easy for him.
28-point lead for the Saigon Heat with 2 minutes remaining in your third quarter. Shepard, the best one-on-one creator for the Westports Malaysian Dragons, trying to take matters into his own hands right now.
And one of the best in the league. Shepard is long and athletic. He does as good a job as any of getting into the paint and using his length to be active around the rim. And a lot of those first shots he misses, but he follows it up with a strong second attempt, and we'll get the finish and sometimes an and one.
Foul whistled on Murphy Bernatowski. Shepard converts on the first free throw.
Yeah, we talk about Chris Durker, and I mentioned this to one of my colleagues here earlier. Everybody in the league is asking about Chris Durker. From Malaysia to Thailand to Philippines to Hong Kong, you name it. I've got people asking me, who's this guy Chris Durker? What can he really do? He's really, impressing a lot of people in this league in his ABL debut.
Well, he has a perfect combination of size and skill, can contend with the guards, has speed to stay in front of them, has the strength to guard bigger imports. What's not to like about Chris Durker?
And in the last couple games, he's knocked down some threes as well. So, with every player, the key ingredient is confidence. And as guys get more confidence, they can do different things, and we're seeing that out of Durker.
Well, that is a violation against Sang Din as he hung on to the rim.
But, right there, you see Sang Din and Durker. That's what they do. They keep balls alive. They're active with loose balls, giving their team second chance opportunities. And Durker right there had 2 tips at it, and Sang Din doesn't grab the rim there. He might have had to finish.
27-point lead, 68-41. Winston Shepard again attacking and scoring. Bernatowski with a foul.
Yeah, Bernatowski gets his 3rd foul and puts his team in the bonus, but that's what Winston Shepard can do. If he gets into the paint, he can create problems with his size and his length and his athleticism. He's got a nice Euro step, and he finishes high above the rim, and when he gets going downhill and gets below the free throw line, he gets really tough.
It's been all him at this stage of the third quarter, barely giving the ball up as he knows that his scoring is much needed by the Dragons right now.
And his free throw woes continue. He struggled all year from the free throw line. It looks like it might be a technique issue for him.
Durker missing with a windmill reverse layup as Shepard puts his head down. He'll try to attack once again. Shepard picks up his dribble, gives it up to Eversley. Shepard for 3, too strong. And that ball is saved back to him. Another try from Dave, rattles out. The effort now looking good, coming from the Dragons, but the Saigon Heat still come away with it. That's an unfortunate attack coming from Sang Din as he had no plans to do with the ball when he leapt for it. Eversley could not make the pay on the other side though.
Yeah, Eversley should go for the layup there. He's been struggling with his outside shot. They had a 3-on-2, and his lane was wide open. If he cuts to the basket, he gets an easy one and maybe a chance to get him going.
20 points scored in total for the Westports Malaysia Dragons in the first half. Here in the third, they put up 23. So, sometimes a quarter can really cost you the game.
It can. And unfortunately for the Dragons, it was the entire first half, and they just got down too far behind. They played well in the third quarter here, but 25-point lead headed into the fourth is going to be tough to overcome.
Allowing 28 points and scoring only 6 for a quarter really hurt your chances, as a 3-point shot will not work out for Chris Eversley. A 25-point lead for the Saigon Heat, 68-43. As they're just running away with this game after a hot start. The Dragons still could not put up a run together. Winston Shepard doing his best, but it's not nearly enough. We'll be heading to the fourth quarter with the Saigon Heat up 68-43.
Một pha bóng bình tĩnh.
Time your flight home tomorrow. Time your flight home.
Xuân mang niềm vui đến, xuân mang tình yêu tới, muôn chim hòa ca trong nắng mới. Hoa mai đào khoe sắc hương, xuân tràn ngây ngất, ta nghe trong lòng rộn ràng rất vui. Xuân chờ mùa say ngát còn tình mình đi qua, khi xa người về quê đón Tết. Ngân vang mang câu chúc cho gia đình sung túc, hân hoan chào mùa xuân mới sang. Xuân đang về trên lối, trong tâm hồn phơi phới, rộn rã ca bao điệu nhạc xuân vui. Ô kia mùa xuân đơm hoa một cây trái, nắng chiếu lấp lánh trên cành mai. Nhà nhà hạnh phúc đón xuân vừa sang, đón thêm bao điều bình an, chúc nhau không phiền lo, gia đình luôn ấm no, chúc nhau như điều mây, trái tim yêu thật nồng say, vui xuân vầy đón Tết này. Mùa xuân về mang bình an qua đây, người người cùng đón Tết xuân về đây, nắng xuân tô hồng trời mây, pháo hoa reo mừng xuân quay quanh bên bánh trưng, hát khúc ca mừng xuân, trái tim thêm mừng rộn vui. Hãy yêu người cất tiếng cười, mùa xuân trăng trăng về đây tươi mới yêu đời.
Vâng. Vâng, sự thay mặt cho Sài Gòn gửi đến quý vị một năm mới 2019 an khang thịnh vượng và nhiều may mắn và sức khỏe. Xin cảm ơn ông mọi người và Sài Gòn hết sức. Các bạn cổ động viên nào cho những chúng ta đang xử lý về kỷ luật hãy không cho đội bạn.
Back here at CIS Arena for the start of the fourth quarter between the Malaysia Dragons and the Saigon Heat. And the Dragons played a little bit better in that third quarter, scoring 23 points and outscoring the Saigon Heat by 9 points. But still, they find themselves down 25 points heading into the fourth quarter. And it's the basket here on the Saigon Heat end. Still having some technical difficulties with the overhead clock. And again, 68-43 here headed into the fourth quarter. And looking at some of the stats here, partner, at the end of the third quarter.
Your leading scorers for the Saigon Heat, Quatran, still with 20 points, was not able to score a single basket in the third quarter. Calberondo has 19 points and 13 rebounds in the game. Raymond Hughes, 16, 9, and 6 assists alongside 3 steals. Absent for them offensively is Murphy Bernatowski, who only has 6 points, but I'm sure he does not mind, as he likes seeing his local carrying the fight. Talking about Quatran.
So if you were to say to me, Saigon Heat's up 25 points heading into the fourth quarter, and Murphy Bernatowski has only 6 points, I would buy you another hot dog.
You know what?
I might buy you 2.
I would not have said it to you because I would not have believed that it was a possibility. That just speaks volumes of the kind of preparation the locals had heading into this game. As a foul there is called against Durker.
And this is a time we see Saigon Heat coming out to start the fourth quarter in a 2-3 zone and up 25. This is the time that Kyle Julius can work on some things.
Yeah.
They've got, they look pretty set in their game plan and the stuff they want to run each game. But this is a chance to work on some new things that might work. We're halfway through the season. A couple of things that he might need later on.
So the Dragons giving the Heat a dose of their own medicine there. Got the switch. Big on small, and the result was a layup coming from Eversley.
Yeah, good take there by Eversley. That's what I wanted to see him do there in the third quarter, but he comes out hot in the fourth quarter.
Quatran comes up wild with a 3-point attempt.
So Quatran has 20 now. Is that right? 20?
Still 20 points as Loshi Pai adds to his 3-point tally. Another very early timeout coming from Coach Kyle Julius. This also happened in the third quarter because he does not want his team to play subpar basketball. Doesn't mean that you have a 25-point lead, that you can just do whatever you want on the floor.
You know, I say this often. Sometimes there's good losses and sometimes there's bad wins. This is, you know, take nothing away from the Saigon Heat's performance. It's been sensational thus far. But you don't want to close the game playing poorly and uninspired. And I think it's an excellent timeout by Kyle Julius. He sees, you know, his guys have lost a little bit of focus. They had a 34-point lead at halftime. And he wants his guys to come out in the fourth quarter and put the game away. Make it a no-doubter. Don't develop any bad habits. Don't lose your focus. To win in this league and to win a championship, you've got to be locked in every possession. Whether you're up 30, down 30, final possession of the half, 2-for-1 situations, you always got to be locked in. And that's what Kyle Julius is reminding his players right now in the timeout.
For the Westports Malaysia Dragons, though, I mean, every point that you can get on the board could be a welcome development for you because you don't want to be staring at a 30-point loss after this game is through.
Look, Jamie Broman, again, no panic. I've been watching him on the sidelines. He's not yelling at his team. He's not getting on his guys. He's not frustrated. Look, sometimes your team has it, and sometimes they don't. And they struggled in the first half, but they're playing much better in the second half.
That last 3-point shot for Loshi Pai gives him 9 points. Again, he has a string of 3 straight double-digit scoring games. Let's see if he can notch that once again here against the Saigon Heat. Trayvon Hughes against Loshi Pai. Trayvon kicks it out to Calberon, loses the handle, and they're called for the 24-second shot clock violation.
Yeah, it's tough because the clock on that end isn't working, but players, they have a feel for the shot clock. They might be off by 2 or 3 seconds, but they know. Barone knew that the shot clock was winding down. He just rushed it a little bit.
Another opportunity for the Dragons to eat up into this lead. Shepard to the corner. Jumper won't work. Battle for the rebound won by Shepard. Forces it up, misses. Eversley, another attempt, no good.
Eversley looked like he got fouled there. Jamie Perlman's letting the referee know.
Look at the handles of Trayvon Hughes. Murphy Bernatowski got bumped. No call.
Yeah, a lot of contact on both ends of the floor. The referees are letting this one play out.
Shepard, straightaway 3, rattles out. Durker gets the rebound.
Yeah, that's not Shepard's shot. I mean, he's a very versatile scorer, but you got Loshi Pai sitting there wide open on your right. He's already hit 3 in the second half. Give him a pump fake, make the defense react, and find the hot shooting Loshi Pai.
And his main defender, talking about Bernatowski, was still behind him at that point. It was a 5-on-4 as Trayvon Hughes missing with the jumper.
Yeah, good contest there by Egwu, a little bit of contact.
Loshi Pai, another 3, no. Tip in is good for Eversley.
Yeah, Loshi Pai makes another. We're going to start calling him Loshi Fire. But let's wait till he makes that 4th one before.
That'd be a wicked name for a player from the Saigon Heat.
Could we make a local for a local trade? Could that be the rules for ABL 10?
I don't think that is a possibility. Still nothing on the board for the Saigon Heat. Here in the 4th quarter, it remains that way with Bernatowski missing from the outside. Shepard will try again from deep. Still nothing there.
That's not his game, and there's no need to panic. There's 7 minutes to go. If you get a couple of buckets and get this to 10, I mean, anything could happen, but forcing up those long threes there, it's a travel right there.
They actually looked good when they started sharing the ball, but all these early threes not working out for them. A steal for Eversley.
And you just got to be patient. Take one possession at a time. There's still a lot of time left, but Winston Shepard jacking up transition threes. That's not who they are.
Eversley making things happen as he misses, but he will head to the line for 2.
And that's going to be Murphy Bernatowski's 4th foul. Yeah, so I mentioned this a second ago, and I was half kidding, but now I'm not kidding. I wonder if at some point in the ABL we'll get to the discussion of being able to trade locals. How about that? Think about that for a second. Ala would be getting a lot of calls, right, to trade for some of their locals. Ethan Albano would be a guy you could, but you can't really start imposing trades unless you have a draft and other things. But there's already a salary cap, an import cap, and to be able to trade locals, I don't know, something maybe we talk about over the next 6-19 to go.
I don't know. I like the rules as they are right now. As it's an opportunity also for the fans to build their affiliation with their own players and such. Because if you get a local from another team, that makes him an import. And we already have imports in tow.
Well, but if he counts as a local, right? Yeah. As long as he's deemed as an ABL local and he's let's say he's a roster property of a team, then by trading him to another team, his status stays the same.
I don't know.
But you could say you're a team like Malaysia, right, who have really had to work hard to get local players. And I give them tremendous credit for getting off to this 5-3 start, especially after that first game in Singapore. But let's say they trade one of their players for a couple locals on another team, and they can get better right away while they continue to build their roster.
But why would the other team trade away better locals for other locals when their team is doing well? I mean, just putting it out there.
Yeah. Who's to say they're doing well, right?
I don't know.
Yeah. Again, we're in a high double-digit lead. We're coming up with some things to talk about. So. Let's talk about trading locals, right? It is a wild idea.
Yeah. But you know what? The ABL throughout its existence has moved through the ebb and flow of things, the development, the number of teams, the officiating. We're still looking for that perfect formula, but I do believe that we're getting closer.
And we haven't seen, I can't remember the last, have we seen a trade import for import? We've seen imports released.
Yep.
And picked up by other teams.
I think that's about it because you have them under contract. I don't remember anyone exchanging imports in the middle of the season, just releasing them.
But you look at the PBA, you look at the VBA, and there's trades that happen all the time. Player acquisitions, and such. So, maybe that's another interesting step for the league. We'll see.
So nothing on the board in the fourth quarter for the Saigon Heat. Murphy Bernatowski. Shot clock is at 10. Corner 3, Quatran. Money.
Quatran finally gets over the hump with the first points of the fourth quarter for the Saigon Heat.
Pardon me, just a long two for Quatran. He has his foot on the line as you approach the midway mark of your fourth and final quarter. Eversley getting it back on the other side.
Yeah, maybe it's this basket. We saw a lid on this rim in the first half for the Malaysia Dragons, and now we're seeing the same for the Saigon Heat here in the fourth quarter.
Hey, a couple of stops, and this could be a ball game for the Dragons. Murphy Bernatowski will be called for a traffic violation.
Yeah, that's outstanding defense there by Wei Long Tan. Good closeout on Bernatowski. All Bernatowski had to do was pump fake him there, get him in the air, and he had whatever he wanted. But he feels his team needing baskets right there, and he's trying to make a play for his team.
12-2 fourth quarter so far in favor of the Westports Malaysia Dragons. Make that 14-2 courtesy of that Shepherd layup.
And we saw this in the first game here between these two teams. We saw a big fourth quarter push by the Malaysia Dragons, but it wasn't quite this deficit.
This jumper coming from Quatran, forward pass to Eversley. Defense of Saigon already set. Shepherd changes his mind about the three. Attacks this time. Runner, no good. They get the rebound though. Eversley steps out for three. No. Could have been big for the Dragons, but they will get another opportunity. Tan, jumper. Still nothing there. Eversley, another opportunity. Finally, he connects.
Yeah, I said this a couple. I love the effort and energy of the Dragons, but you gotta find Lo Shifai. He is the knockdown three-point shooter. He's developed into that role, and he's open on the perimeter, especially on these offensive rebounds. They can get another stop in a three, get it into 8-9 points. Anything can happen.
Tough shot coming from Trayvon Hughes, and that equates to another stop for Westports Malaysia. Lo Shifai goes to his fellow local in Tan. Big basket for the Dragons.
And there he is. That's the guy I keep talking about, Lo Shifai, right? All he does is make plays. And his ability to knock down shots, takes one dribble in, spaces the floor, and finds Tan for the easy finish at the rim.
Only 2 points here in the fourth quarter for Saigon, compared to already 18 for the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
And just as I was watching Jamie Perlman earlier, I'm keeping an eye on Kyle Julius. And he knows his team struggle and only 2 points in the fourth quarter, but he's hanging in there. He believes in his guys. He believes in his system. And all he is a couple possessions away from putting this game away.
Bernatowski was trapped there. Ball rotation. That ball was kicked by Tan. But you brought up a very interesting point. There are bad wins and there are good losses. And for Westports Malaysia, there are a couple of baskets away from turning this to a good loss.
Yeah, I talked about those pull-up threes by Winston Shepard earlier, right?
Yeah.
And they get a couple of quality shots. Maybe it's a 5 or 6 point game. And, 9 points with 3 minutes to go is still a tough lead.
Trayvon Hughes misses. Rebound goes to Lo Shifai. So 3 minutes remaining in this contest. Still possible for a comeback. Shepard attacks, gets contact, cannot score. Durker with a big board.
Yeah, that's a big possession there.
He lost the rebound. Eversley takes it away. The ball will remain on the side of the Dragons. Shepard, another 3-point attempt, nothing. Egwu, offensive rebound, goes out to Lo Shifai. Eversley will try his luck now against Barone. Almost gets that shot up and in, but he will have to step to the free throw line for 2.
Yeah, but just the effort and the hustle and the energy here. And Shepard is frustrated. He's taking those threes. They're not going down, but Egwu, Eversley, Lo Shifai, Tan, none of those guys are giving up. You see, they look like they're playing 7-on-5 right now, and not get a couple of these free throws, another stop and a bucket, and anything can happen.
We did not see this kind of effort coming from the Dragons, especially in the first half. But this is what they're capable of.
They got a lot of heart, this team does. People are surprised that they're 5-3, but there's nothing to be surprised about. I like this team. I like their makeup. They've got great chemistry. They've got a good coach. Jamie Perlman's come in 8 games. He's figured out the league, and they're doing a good job.
That's a foul on Tan, the 4th for the Dragons.
Both teams in the bonus down the stretch, but the Dragons are down 8. They've made a heck of a comeback, but they still are going to have to play perfect down the stretch. They're still 3 possessions away.
Quatran almost lost the ball. He sends it out to Bernatowski. 3 remaining on the shot clock. Murphy Bernatowski beats it with a layup. Oh, and then a steal for Trayvon Hughes. A careless play on the inbound for the Dragons.
Yeah, and that might be the backbreaker here. The tough runner by Bernatowski to build it to a 10-point lead, and then the turnover there to give Saigon Heat another chance to run time off the clock.
5 seconds remaining for Trayvon Hughes. Pulls up for 3. No. And the Dragons are still in this.
Yeah, they're going to need a lot of help here.
Winston Shepard attacking. Tan to Eversley. Good pass to Tan. Oh. Escape dribble did not work out for him. Again, you could have worked out if you located your shooter, Lo Shifai.
Give him a touch. Give Lo Shifai a touch. Let him touch the ball and stretch the defense, and then he can find other guys and other angles open. But, you normally don't talk about going to one of your local players, but he's one of the guys that can really stretch the floor for the Malaysia Dragons.
Timeout here. There's 1 minute and 18 seconds remaining in this contest. A 10-point lead, 72-62. So that initial investment, that 34-point lead for the Saigon Heat in the first half, working out well for them, as this has been an atrocious fourth quarter with only 4 points, but it looks like they will be able to hang on.
Yeah, it just goes to tell you here, partner, every possession matters. Don't take anything for granted. Malaysia was coming back. It looked like they were left for dead. They're down 18, 20 points. and they're rushing their possession. Shepard taking those long threes. Eversley missing some critical free throws. A couple of those possessions, if they get good shots, they attack the rim, maybe get free throws, stop the clock, look for low Shi-Fi, the spacer on the extra pass, and this 10-point game could be a 4-point game. And you just take things for granted. These guys have a lot of confidence. They've got good chemistry. They believe in themselves. They believe in Coach Perlman's system. Continue to play the way you're taught to play, and then you live with the result.
Saigon Heat is looking for a couple more baskets. As you take a look at the numbers of Trayvon Hughes, 16 points, 12 rebounds, and 7 assists. He was fouled in the last play, and with the Dragons in penalty, this talented guard is shooting 2.
Silence during those 2 free throws.
Allowing Trayvon Hughes to focus completely. Dead quiet inside the CIS Stadium.
Cricket's here, partner. I think he can hear me whisper to you right now.
And that just tells you how smart the basketball fans are here in Vietnam.
Yeah, I don't think they'll be that quiet when the Dragons are shooting.
I doubt that would be the case as a foul is called against Quatran.
And Quatran doesn't like the call. It looked like a clean pick. There he had him ripped on the perimeter. As we look at the play here. Now, he bumped him. That's actually a good call. And I say this over and over. In this region, when you reach, you're going to get called for the foul.
Yep.
9 out of 10, maybe 19 out of 20. Especially in plain sight out of the perimeter.
Shepard, though, does not convert from the free throw line.
So let me say this about Shepard. You look at his free throw form. To me, he's leaning forward and he's aiming for the back of the rim. It's a technique thing for him. He's got to stand tall, stay on the line, stop leaning forward and aim for the front of the rim. And I think his conversion rate will be better.
And he is indeed hitting the back of the rim with many of these misses.
With regularity. I saw it in the first game here. Also saw it in the Mono Vampire game the other day.
Offensive foul is called against the Saigon Heat.
Yeah, we're going to get an unsportsmanlike foul there. And whatever hair Kyle Julius had left, he just pulled it out on that play. But his team's up 12 with 50 seconds to go. I think he's in good position.
Yoshi Pai, the most consistent local scorer for Westports Malaysia, at least in their past 4 games.
On a rare miss by Lo Shi-Fi, but once again in double figures. Here is proven to be a quality local player, a good role player for the Malaysian Dragons.
In the start of this season, it was Jonathan Wong who was actually their biggest threat among the locals, but Lo Shi-Fi is shooting. Has heated up as of late. However, he misses with that triple.
Yeah, that's a tough shot, but that's one he's got to take. His team's down 11 with 45 seconds to go. He's got to shoot that shot.
Quatran sends the ball to Durker as the Heat are wasting off of this clock. As Bernatowski goes for the lefty layup, that's good.
I believe that gets Bernatowski into double figures now.
Shepard finally hitting one. Could have been big if he hit one earlier. But now it will prove to be inconsequential as that is a clear bump on Egwu. Referee's right on top of it, sending Trayvon Hughes to the free throw line.
Yeah, these two former Big Ten players, Egwu from the University of Illinois, and Trayvon Hughes, of course, from the Wisconsin Badgers. So these two guys are no secret to playing good pressure defense and trying to use those little veteran tricks to bump guys and get away with it. But Egwu didn't get away with it that time. That last basket by Winston Shepard was a long 2. As Trayvon Hughes knocks down the first free throw. And Saigon Heat looks like they'll get their 9th victory with only 4 defeats this season and put a firmer hold on that second place spot in the standings.
And of course, they will also be able to forget about that last loss against the Westports Malaysia Dragons. That stung them for a while.
Yeah, it did. And they got the revenge today here at home at CIS Arena.
And it's only fitting that Quatran was the guy who grabbed the final rebound in this contest, as he was the star for the Saigon Heat in this handsome win against the Westports Malaysia Dragons.
That's right, yeah. You know, a sloppy game is a weird game all along. You know, I had it start out my first broadcast. We saw 28-6. Saigon Heat jumped out early, 34-point halftime lead, and then a very flat fourth quarter. It was not the scripted game that we thought we saw, but nevertheless, it turned out to be an entertaining finish. And I like these two teams. They're going to be in it all the way here in ABL 9.
A credit to Westports Malaysia for fighting back even against all odds, down by 34 points at least. They made a move here in the fourth quarter. They made it very interesting. Some anxious moments against the Saigon Heat as well, eating a key basket coming from Trayvon Hughes and even Murphy Bernatowski. But tonight belongs to the Saigon Heat, Quatran specifically.
Yeah, let's take nothing away. Basketball is a four-quarter game, and we're not looking at how the game closed out for the Saigon Heat, but the total game effort. They worked hard to build that 36-point lead, and they earned the right to hold on to it. They didn't play great in the fourth quarter, but they had a big enough lead. They were able to hang on with the 13-point victory.
And they strengthened their hold of the second spot behind the defending champion San Miguel Ala Pilipinas. The Saigon Heat looking like true title contenders here in ABL Season 9.
Absolutely, 9-4, right behind San Miguel Ala Pilipinas.
That is correct.
My perfect accent there. Who will have a tough game here tonight as they'll take on Mono Vampire. And you know, for all of you out there, I want to remind you, 5 ABL games, all the teams in action today. This is just game 1. 4 more games remaining today of ABL action. I can't wait to get home and get my computer, my TV, my iPhone, my iPad. I'm going to get all 4 games going at once, buy a pizza, and maybe eat a second hot dog in honor of you, partner.
And on that note, we bid you goodbye from the CIS Stadium in Ho Chi Minh City. A big win for the Saigon Heat, their 3rd straight victory as they score a 78-65 decision against the Westports Malaysia Dragons. Stay back with us for more of your ABL action.